And welcome to another episode of South Texas Crossfire. This is attorney Joe Flores reminding you to join us each and every week right here on KTMB with the Lopez family. Special thanks to Don Humberto Lozano Lopez. He passed away in 2011, but he's never forgotten. He's honored, he's venerated, and because of him, we would not be here with Lopez family bringing out a Hispanic message for our community and for everybody now. We've got viewers in Port Aransas, we've got viewers in Flower Bluff, over the island, Aransas County, San Pat, Jim Wells, Brooks, and we welcome them all. And also my good friend Carlos Lopez, you guessed it, the Ted Turner of South Texas Broadcasting. I have the honor and the privilege of bringing on a great judge who is implementing Texas Challenge Academy. And this is something that is totally voluntary, and it is saving the youth of Texas, the very first of its kind. I'm excited to bring on none other than your judge, Joe Benavides. Welcome, Judge Benavides. How are you?
Welcome. Real good, Joe.
Thank you, Judge Benavides, for coming on, because I personally invited you. I know you're busy at your lunch hour. You got a heavy docket, but I decided this is too important. I'm very excited. I know that you implemented a program that is totally voluntary. This isn't court ordered. No. This is about parents. Tell us a little bit about the program and why you did it.
Okay, with less than a year, I spoke to a couple of people that ran the training and education program out in Sheffield, Texas. The program is called the Texas Challenge Academy. The academy instills young children from not dropping out of school. I knew for a fact, being in office less than a year, that there was no other tools that we could utilize to combat the truancy problems we have here in Nueces County. Once I implemented this program and partnered up with the National Guard, I now have a partnership not only with the National Guard, but the parents, the children that are not going to school, and myself, my courtroom. So they have an opportunity to go to a training and education program which lasts 6 months out in Sheffield, Texas. And this program is really unique because once the program is over in 6 months, these students get to obtain their GED certificates and or their high school diploma. And not only that, they're instilled many things in the leadership positions, principles, traits, and what they should be doing in as a young adult.
Well, and after that, especially from here, let's not forget about giving education is our freedom of plug. If they have their GED, they can be eligible for a scholarship to go to Del Mar, Texas A&M, Kingsville, right here, Texas A&M, University, Corpus Christi. A lot of exciting things are happening. So these people, and Craft Center, to get trained too and get a vocation at Del Mar West.
Yes.
So these are exciting things that are happening. Now, as we said, it's not just some sort. People right now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to underline, this is not a boot camp. This is not a court-ordered deal. This is a voluntary deal where parents are having a little trouble controlling their children going to school. This is where it starts. You stop going to school, you get in trouble. Judge Benavides knows about this. But they're teaching them about mentoring, physical fitness, and voluntary service. You went out there with Rudy Trevino and some other local celebrities and journalists, and images of what we're seeing. Tell us a little bit about the program.
I have a young child that had three of them, in fact, three that are at the academy right now. And I visit the kids once a month. I drive there on my own. It takes me 8 hours to get out there. And the young students are very thankful that I did give them the opportunity as a second chance for these kids to complete their education and to learn social skills that were never taught in school. I believe that, we as leaders of this community should find programs like this one here, the Texas Challenge Academy, to give our children a second chance, an opportunity to succeed in life, and not only in life, but to be successful in our community.
Well, and the other issue is that you're reaching out to the community here. I know that you were having meetings there on Leopard Street in room 116 there on the first floor, but I wanted to take this opportunity to broadcast it to over 100,000 people on Time Warner. And it's extremely important that the criteria, parents out there that are at their wits' end and saying, I need Judge Benavides, I need the Texas Challenge Academy, I need something because I don't want my son or daughter to drop out. What's the criteria?
The criteria is a child that has not been in school, potential dropouts, children that kids that have been bullied in school, kids that don't want to go to school because they've been bullied, kids that just don't, they're just really kids that don't have or aspire to finish up school. This academy, Joe, gives these children motivation not only to complete school, but to be successful in their own way. And like you said earlier, it's not about going to higher education like an academic college. It's a trade school. There's a lot of kids that want to become welders, plumbers, and it's really a unique program that instills these things into the children. Not only that, after the 6 months program, when they come back from Sheffield, Texas, they get a mentor here in Corpus Christi from the National Guard, an adult that caters to them and follows them and shadows them for 12 months, making definitely sure they're following all the instructions that were given out at the academy in Sheffield, Texas.
And of course, those naysayers out there and ultra-right conservatives that are saying this is a bleeding heart program that's going to cost the taxpayer a ton of money. How do you respond to them?
Well, this is a unique academy. It's an academy that's funded by state and federal funds. It's a grant, Joe. So the children that the parents don't pay one penny to send their kids to Sheffield, Texas.
And neither do the Nueces County taxpayers.
Absolutely. It has nothing to do with Nueces County taxpayers. It's state, federal funded by the National Guard. And these kids, the percentage rate of success is 97%.
Gosh.
So it's a great program. They have over 200 students over there that are throughout Texas. I have 3 right now as of January. They will graduate in June. I started with 12. But due to certain circumstances, and not that they were kicked out, Joe, it was the fact that they have to meet certain criteria. But this coming up June, I will have approximately 25 to 30 children going to the academy because it is a need. We need this here, and a lot of the judges, their hands are tied behind their backs because we don't have programs like the Texas Challenge Academy that gives these kids a second chance.
Well, and your predecessor, Joe Gonzalez, that was in that courtroom, had the TRAP program. He had the weekend, the volunteer, the lawn program, and he had creative ways that you helped him side by side right when you got out of the Marine Corps. Thank you for serving. You helped him side by side. So, what kind of role did now Commissioner Joey Gonzalez sort of inspiring you to sort of create these programs and catch the baton and continue on doing what he aspired to do,
Yes, Commissioner Gonzalez was my mentor and will always be my mentor. He has guided me into my decision-making process here as a Justice of the Peace. A very talented commissioner that understands the problems that we have here in Nueces County, especially with our school system. And I believe that the tools he used are very effective in making definitely sure that our kids are successful. But it doesn't take to send these kids to a program and find out results tomorrow. It's a long-term range where you'll see the effects in a year, 2 years, where these kids are employed, they're giving back to society, and that's what it takes. I run a program on my own within less than a year. And the 2 programs I do really believe is an impact with these kids is my workshop. And I have that once every 3 months quarterly. And what I do is I invite leadership throughout Corpus Christi to speak to kids, to motivate these kids to stay in school and finish up school. And those that do not, they partner up with me. We have a mutual agreement between the parents, the National Guard, and the student that volunteer to go to this academy. So there's 2 programs that I run, and I'm so blessed to be a part of the Texas Challenge Academy, and it's something that we need here in Nueces. And the thing is that I believe that you cannot have programs inner city. You must, I believe, in a military, semi-military training, that we send the kids over to Sheffield because they have no connectivity with the kids they're hanging around with here in the inner city areas. So when I go out to Sheffield, Texas, I'll be going again next week. And when I do go speak to these kids, they're very appreciative, Joe. They think this is their second chance, with which it is. It is their second chance, and they are very blessed that they're over there. And the three students I still have out there will graduate in June with their high school diploma.
That's fantastic. We've got a couple of minutes left. I know that it's always a threat that, to me at least, that when you have good leaders up there, that there are people that are going to try to run just to run against a judge that's doing a great job for whatever reason. We've seen that in the last election cycle. We saw a person with self-service, not public service in mind, that ran, and luckily the dark forces were defeated. And so when you have somebody like yourself, there's always going to be challengers. I want to take this time to underline to the people out there that the leaders that you vote in matter. Research them carefully, and you will find none finer than Joe Benavides, your judge. And we've got a minute left, Judge. Congratulations, too, on a write-up they did to you on the Collard Times for you. That's going to be written, broadcast, and by the time we play this, and I'm very happy for you on that. Tell us a little bit in the last minute why you do what you do.
Well, Joe, as you know, I was raised here in Corpus Christi. I'm a at-risk population. Grew up with a large family in the western part of Nueces County. I understand where these parents are coming from. It's called tough love, and I just did not pop up out of nowhere. I have always given and served my time in the military, in the Marine Corps, and also here in this community. I saw a need for a person, a leader that has passion to make a difference in our community. And I'm that person, Joe. I've always been active in organizations that make a difference in our community, and I will continue to do it. I believe that these kids do have that second chance. I believe these kids can be successful, and I believe that, in the future, that you're going to see some of these students that graduate from this academy and or graduate through my programs, that they're going to be leaders of tomorrow.
Well, thank you very much. And that's Judge Joe Benavides, your judge here in Nueces County at the Justice of the Peace level, and also always a Marine, but retired Marine Corps, and came on and is doing great things with the Texas Challenge Academy. If you want more information, what's the magic number to find out more?
The magic number, Mr. Flores, is area code 361-633-9308, or you could call the courthouse at 361-888-0201.
And that's 633-9308, or at the courthouse?
361-888-0201.
Remember, the magic number is 633-9308, or also 888-0102?
0201.
0201, but I better go to the academy with some dyslexia here. But if you fit the criteria, 16 to 18, drop on by, give them a call, find out if you're at risk, if your child's at risk. This Texas Challenge Academy program is one of the first of its kind, and we are saving our youth. And another group, 25 children or so, are going to be being launched by Judge Benavides on a voluntary basis. Again, this is not a boot camp. This is not punishment. These are at-risk children that need our help. Thank you, Judge Benavides, for coming by.
Thank you, Mr. Flores.
All right. Thank you all.
Hello, my name is Judge Joe Benavides, Justice of the Peace, Precinct 1, Place 1, County of Nueces. I have partnered up with the educational institution that I believe will curtail the dropout epidemic here in Nueces County. It is the Texas Challenge program conducted by the National Guard. I partnered up with the National Guard Texas Challenge program in October of 2013. TCA, the Texas Challenge Academy, is a volunteer program for 16 to 18-year-old teens who are at risk of dropping out of high school or who have already dropped out. The program is very positive and is open to all students without regard to race, sex, religion, affiliation, or household income. But the program requires a continuous partnership with the courts, the National Guard, the parent and child, 17 and a half months of commitment, and it's invited in 3 phases. There is 8 core components to TCA, the Texas Challenge Academy: life coping skills, education excellence, skills training, responsible citizenship, leadership, fellowship, health, hygiene, sex education, physical fitness, and voluntary service. I believe that my partnership and the programs that I've conducted through the National Guard Challenge Program, the parents and the students that are court-ordered in this courtroom is a roadmap for their success.
Have you been arrested or are potentially facing criminal charges? You need a trial attorney who is well-versed in the courtroom. Joe Flores has handled hundreds of criminal cases and many of them to trial. Joe Flores can provide you with competent representation to protect your constitutional rights in state and federal court. Joe Flores can help if you have been arrested or facing criminal charges. The law offices of Joe Flores, equal justice for all.
Hi, this is attorney and board-certified nurse practitioner Joe Flores on behalf of Vasquez Flores Home Health. Nursing homes have their place, but having care in your own home is very important. Call today for more information. Backed by over 20 years of experience, registered nurse Priscilla Vasquez can answer your questions about home care. Call 881-9922, that's 881-9922 today.